Was Naomi Campbell the connection between Diddy and Epstein? A small equation in this world of madness, but I do believe that she played pivotal roles. The way that I believe Naomi has gotten away with so much is so intriguing to me. But of course, with Virginia's book being released, new information resurfacing and re-emerging once again, and then you got same conversations happening. It's just intriguing how she's gotten away with so much. I do believe that she probably was a connection between Diddy and Epstein, just one of those models who knew what was going on, turned a blind eye, and instead wanted to develop the connections with these men and ended up passing stuff between people, allegedly, is what I believe. Because she was hanging out with both Diddy and was pictured and also on the flight log. So it definitely is a connect. Hey guys, it's Murad Morali. Hopefully you guys are all doing well today. Daily and consistent content. Subscribe to the channel, comment down below, give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And if any of you guys have seen Princess Peach, please let her know her breath stinks and that she needs to wash her legs. I'm so sorry. But anyways, let's get into this video where this has garnered a lot of views. Once again, we can see the picture of Naomi Campbell, and in Virginia's own words, through her book now, in her memoir, she said and speaks of this photograph, and she says, "I'm caught in the foreground, clearly by accident. I'm 17 years old, and right next to me is Maxwell. Later, a fellow survivor told me this photograph was the reason she broke her silence. The photo says something 1,000 words couldn't. Everybody knew that this was a child amongst grown men and women at parties." And of course, who was caught in this picture was Naomi Campbell, and you can see that she's looking at Virginia. Of course, everybody's knowing that a minor is clearly in amongst us, and that Ghislaine is carrying her around, handler, introducing her to people, and etc. And then Virginia, of course, was doing things with Prince Andrew, who was just being exposed again this week, and is slowly being dropped from the royal family, which I think is too little too late. But you can see that she's basically being passed around essentially, and I don't just believe that Naomi knew what was going on and turned a blind eye, because I think that's what everybody was doing at these parties. But I also believe that she could have been some kind of connect between the Diddy and Epstein world. If you read Whitney Webb's article, The Two Oligarchs and How They Connected, I do believe that you have people in the middle like Naomi who could be either transferring information or transporting people, or helping, or telling who you can introduce who to, but wouldn't leave a trail behind. Naomi, somebody who has been through multiple stuff, the Blood Diamond trial, which was insane. Outside of that, her own scenarios of aggressiveness, what happened on the plane, and etc. There's been multiple things, and I think that when everything happened with Diddy and he was recently arrested, she immediately deleted all those pictures. But she had a very strong relationship with that man. But she also was amongst and took pictures with Ghislaine Maxwell. She took pictures with Harvey Weinstein. She was on the flight logs, apparently going to that island, and etc. So I think as a high-flying model to maintain and be in these spaces, I don't think that she was just modeling. I think that she could also have been a possible person who was like, okay, I'm this high-flying model, I can let you know where you need to go to get the models and etc. Because in Virginia's book, she also did state that there was a man called Jean-Luc Brunel who had a modeling agency, and that he basically gifted Epstein young French girls, and that they would actually go to different countries to scout for these models, and then these models would go to this island and then be returned, and etc. And you guys know where I'm going with this. Not only that, but then when we look at Sean Combs, we can look at his clothing line. It was also reported that the models that he would hire for that clothing line would then had to be part of the freak-offs, or had to do things. These are in reports, allegedly, and etc. And so it's always through modeling campaigns, modeling agencies where you can use to scout people to be basically trafficked, and etc. And I can see somebody in this position who's a high-flying model that would suggest where to look to get these young models, to get these young girls. So in this position, Naomi looks awful, and the picture is going viral again, and you can see her looking at Virginia. And I do believe that she is in the close circumference of Ghislaine, Epstein, and Weinstein, and etc. And then she's also great friends with Diddy. Basically, Auntie is always at the crime scene with her hands clean, always. Like, it's honestly insane how she's always at the crime scene and yet is somehow untouched. Brands still love her. She's walking the catwalk. She's welcomed by everybody. She has great relationships. She's basically been untouched, unscathed from the Epstein scandal, from the Blood Diamond scandal, like everything. She's overcome it all. And I'm just wondering who is protecting her above her that is allowing her to continue to get away with this or to be completely untouched. I don't understand. Now, Virginia doesn't mention Naomi Campbell in her new book, but because she speaks of this photo for the first time in her new book, which was released earlier this day, this is why Naomi Campbell is being discussed once again and completely going viral. She definitely knew what was going on. She definitely knew what was going on with the young girl running around an adult party, and all of them basically just turned a blind eye, did not give a damn, and if anything, probably were like, this is where you can get other young girls to come through and do extra. Like, it's really sad because she wasn't walking around this party alone. Ghislaine was running around with her, and it's just honestly disgusting. The emails leaked of Prince Andrew and Epstein when they were talking about Virginia and what they should do and look into her criminal background and etc. They had a plan to completely destroy her, and now suddenly Virginia had some kind of car crash or was injured and then suddenly just passed away so mysteriously, so quickly, because they thought that this was going to stop it. And then it was also revealed that Buckingham Palace stopped a new interview that she did as well, and now her memoir has been released and she's not here to see it. But I don't know, I just felt Naomi Campbell, the receipts are everywhere. She's with Jay-Z, she's with Sean Diddy Combs, she's with Leonardo DiCaprio, she's with Harvey Weinstein. She's basically just seen, she's even, you know, doing stuff with Rockaware, which was Jay-Z's clothing line, modeling for it as well. Like, the woman is just everywhere. Like, Naomi Campbell has strong friends, and I just feel like with Diddy being arrested, everybody's looking at the circle once again to see what's going to happen. But I don't think anything's going to happen to Naomi. I don't see her being indicted. I don't see her going through any kind of, you know, criminal trial that cause I don't think that she directly was harming people. I think that she was some kind of enabler or pass around or would tell people where to look. Because for you to have all of these friends and all of these high places and you're pictured with all of them, it's difficult to, or be like, I don't want to be naive to the conversation that you just didn't know what was going on, or you didn't at least help. And I think that Naomi is very clever to the point where she wouldn't put her fingerprints anywhere. She's gone through these trials, she's gone through the blood diamond stuff. She doesn't want to be implicated in any way, shape or form, and yet somehow she just continues to remain untouched. But I do feel like there are these high flying models that are connects to the world of Diddy and Epstein by helping to transfer either young girls, boys, or telling them where to look, or, you know, just enabling it in some kind of way outside of just knowing. I don't think Naomi just knew and turned a blind eye. I think there were moments where, you know, she helped to enable it, because how you're close with well, close is a stretch, but how you basically knew Epstein, you knew Ghislaine, you know, you knew Weinstein, you knew Diddy, and you're always pictured with them, you're at these parties, you're at these events and etc. And somehow, like, you knew nothing, and somehow you didn't do anything, but you also come out unscathed entirely from these conversations. I do believe that she is some kind of connect, and people are having the conversation now more than ever, purely because of Virginia's new book that has come out. But they are speaking of Naomi because it's the first time that she's addressed the fact that this is all going on. Naomi does not look good in these pictures at all, looking directly at Virginia and just been like, I can't even imagine how many more people turn a blind eye to more of these kids running around these parties. There's one thing turning a blind eye, but there's another thing that we continue to be pictured with these people. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Anyways, let me know your thoughts, guys, when it comes to this video. Do subscribe, comment down below. I just wanted to have this conversation. If you guys want to have it too, comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up, send a tip if you guys wish to. Naomi, always at the side, always at the crime scene. Always at the crime scene, somehow just always there in the picture. Even with the Ibiza tapes and with Diddy, she was there. Like, she's just always there, and I just don't get it. I just find it to be weird. Yeah, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.